everybody. Today we're going to be making galaxies. We're going to be using Adobe Photoshop. In Photoshop, we're going to first create the background. We're going to create the stars and all the colors around it. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to take different planets that are made up of different things on Earth, like a cow skin, like elephant skin, like wood, like rust, and we're going to take those things and we're going to make them into planets. Hopefully we will fool the viewer into thinking that it's a real galaxy, even though every planet is actually something from Earth. All you need to do to start is hop on a computer, log in, and get Photoshop ready. All right, we are in, everybody. We are going to make our galaxies today. So for our galaxy project, what you should have already done is downloaded all the things that you need from Google Classroom. And in our downloads folder, you're going to have a lot of different things. Like me, I have a lot of junk here. And in my downloads folder, I have all the different planets. I have the shadow. I have my galaxy template. Now we're going to need to get Photoshop open, but a little shortcut to opening Photoshop is just by clicking on your galaxy template. Click it 2 times fast, and Photoshop should open for you from there. There. Now here's my my template. I'm going to move this out of the way. Down here. Right now we just have a blank white space, and we want to turn it into something. Obviously our galaxy. So there's a couple steps to do to start off to make it a lot easier on you. What we're going to do to begin with is we're going to go up to our top menu. This is our top menu here. And what we're going to do is fill it in with black. So we want to go to Edit, and we want to go down to Fill, and we're going to fill it in with black. Right now it's going to fill it in with the foreground color, which is black, but I'm going to change foreground color to black, and then hit OK. And now we have black. I'll do it one more time. We're going to go to the Edit menu up top here, Edit, pull down to Fill, use black. If it's on a different version, you just click down and make sure it's filling it with black. Then we hit OK. Now the next thing is we have our black galaxy. We need to add some stars. So in order to add some stars, we want to use our paintbrush. And this over here on the left, this is our toolbar. These are all the different tools we can use. We only want the paintbrush. Sometimes people pick this wrong one with the arrow. We want this paintbrush right here. It's right under this Band-Aid tool. We want our paintbrush. And if we start painting, you're not going to see anything. Well, I'm not, because my color right now is black. So whatever color here is in the front is black. So we can't see black on black. But if we double click on the black, we can choose white and click to choose white, cancel. Or another way you can do it, an easier way, is these 2 little color chips right above. They're black and white. If I hit that button, it'll turn it automatically into black and white. And then this little arrow here will let you switch the colors back and forth and make it go from black to white. This little arrow right here. So I have my white. If you're still having trouble getting white, you can double click on your box and select, red or blue or whatever color, but we need white for our stars. So we're going to go upper left corner here, select it. And our paintbrush, we need some very specific options with our paintbrush. So if we go to the top here, and you'll see we have a menu of different things we can do with our brush. We're going to look and see right where this number 13 is. We're going to look, and we can change the size here. So if I bring it way up, we have a really large brush. If we bring it down, we have a very tiny brush. So that's how you change the size, but there's an easy way I'm going to show you in a minute. And then we look at the brush hardness. If we do a really hard brush, and I bring the size up too, you're going to see that it's going to give me a really hard edge. It's just going to look like a polka dot. Okay, we don't want that. We want to get rid of that. So what I could do actually is quickly go over here to black and just hit the arrow to switch to black, and I can draw right back over it with black to get rid of it, because I know this is already pure black. So what I want to do is change the size of my brush and my softness, but we don't want black anymore. So we're going to flip it to white. Make sure you have white. We're going to go up top here and we're going to change and make sure our hardness, change the hardness down to 0. We want a soft brush. So if I make one now, you'll see that that's really soft and it looks more like a star, only it's too big. If you want to get rid of something quickly, you can go to Edit, Undo, or you can go to Edit, Step Backward. That works too. Undo or Step Backward if you make a mistake. So I'm going to change my brush size. Right now it's at 391, and I want to make it much smaller for my stars, maybe around 9 to begin with. And what I'm going to do now that I have my soft brush is what I'm going to do is start adding stars. But stars aren't all exactly the same size. We want it to be random, some close together, some far away. We want some random sizes as well, because right now all these dots are all exactly the same size. So what I'm going to do while I'm doing this is I'm going to look down at the keyboard. So if you can hear me, I want you to look down on the keyboard and look at the letter P. And next to the letter P, there are two brackets, two little bracket buttons. There's a left bracket and a right bracket. What I want you to do now is put your fingers on left and right bracket, and I want you to hit the right bracket and see what happens to our paintbrush. It gets really large. Okay, I made a mistake. I'm going to go to Edit, Undo. And then if we use the left bracket, we can make it much smaller. So what I'd like you to do is as you're making stars, I want you to hit the bracket buttons to make smaller and larger stars. You don't want them too big. You just want to have a variety of different size stars here. So I'm going to add some more. And now I have a nice variety. Some are bigger, some are smaller, some are close together, some are far apart. And that's going to be a nice start for my galaxy. I have a nice variety of large and small stars. Looks pretty good. So our next step is that we're going to make it look a little bit more like a galaxy and add some color in there. So I want you to go to the bottom and I want you to open up a new browser window. Okay, you can use whichever browser you like to use. I'm using Chrome right now. And what we want to look for are something that's called wispy clouds. You're probably saying, what does that mean? I've never heard that before. It's a very specific type of cloud that we want. So we're going to hit W. I don't know if it's ISPY or WH. We're going to find out. No, it is WISPY. Wispy clouds. Right there. I'm going to click on that. And then it shows me some results, but I'm going to hit images. I'm going to click the images button and find some wispy clouds. Now, wispy clouds are ones that are very thin, kind of long, soft looking clouds. And I'm going to choose one that I think would look cool in my background. I'm going to go with this. I like this one. And when that pops up, what I'm going to do is right click and I'm going to copy it, or you can download it too. I'm going to copy it and then I'm going to go edit, paste, and there it is. Now it's stuck in the middle of my picture right now, and it's also not the right size. So what we need to do is make it so it's bigger and it fits the whole page. So what I'm going to do is go to the top of the toolbar. I'm going to click on the Move tool. The Move tool is going to help me move it around. Now I can move it around, but that's not going to do much good if I can't make it bigger or smaller. So once you're on the Move tool, you're going to go up top here to our menu choices, and we want to select Show Transform. We want to transform. And while we're up there, for later on, we're going to need this later on, we're going to go to Auto Select. Click this just for now. It's not related to what we're doing now, but just do it. Auto Select, change Group to Layer. Okay, I'll repeat that. We want Show Transform controls clicked, and we want Auto Select layer selected. And if you don't see this up on the top, it probably means you're not selected on the Move tool, which is right here on the top of the toolbar. So you'll notice what happened to our clouds is now we have these boxes around the outside. What it'll let you do now is it'll let you change the size, and we don't want to stretch it like that. That just looks awful. That doesn't look good at all. So I'm going to hit Enter, and what I'm going to do is go to Edit, step backwards. We don't want to stretch it the wrong way. What we want to do is we want to hold down Shift. And by holding Shift, it is going to keep the picture in the right proportion. If I let go of Shift, it smushes it down. You can see I'm turning Shift on and off. We want Shift on. And you'll notice there's also some writing. I don't want to see that writing at all, so I'm going to drag it past the edge. You can see I can go off into this gray space, And then I'm going to hit enter or double click in the middle. So enter or double click after I made the size change, and I want that out of the way. So now we have this. Okay, we're not quite where we need to be yet because right now it's covering it up. So if you look over here on the side, watch where my mouse is circling around. We have layer one, and if I click on layer one, you can actually change the name of layer one to clouds if you want. You can change the name, and our background is still our background. But what we want to do with the clouds is we want to make it blend in with the background and not just be over top. And you'll notice over on the side there's little eyeballs here. If I click on that eye, what it's going to do is it's turning it on and off, meaning you can see it or not see it. That's why there's an eye there. So you can turn that on and off. But we want to get all of the color out of these clouds because we want to make it look more like a galaxy. So I'm going to click on my cloud, and I'm going to go up to image, way at the top menu up here, image, adjustments, image adjustments, and the one we want is desaturate, and that is going to take the color out of our picture. Desaturate. A shortcut for that is Shift, Control, and U, and you can see the shortcut right here. I'm just going to click desaturate right there. It takes all the color out of it. So no more color. We desaturated it. Color is out. We're almost done. We have to do one more thing, and we really have to push the black into this image a little more because it's so much gray. So make sure we're still on the clouds. We go up to image again, the top menu, image, adjustments. We want to do levels. So what levels are is that is going to be the amount of black, gray, and white in our picture. And right now we have a map telling us how much black, gray, and white is. So you can see over in the black part of the graph, there's no black. In the gray part of the graph, there's a ton of it. And there's a little bit for white, which you can see in the picture. So if we take our black arrow right here and we drag it in, what starts to happen is we're adding more black. And this is actually what we want. We want to make it darker like this to be the colored part of the galaxy. So we drag, here's what I did. I dragged my black arrow in to about here, and then I click OK. And now I'm getting more to where I want to be, but we still can't see the stars. Our stars are here. We know they're there because if I hit the eyeball, it'll turn it off and on. But we want the clouds to blend in with the background more. So we have a little menu over here above our layers. Right now the layer is normal, but we want to change that normal layer by clicking on it. Oh, there's a lot of different options here. The ones I use the most are multiply, screen, and overlay. And let's see which one looks the best. Multiply. Nope, it disappears. Let's try screen. Yeah, that looks good. Screen looks good. We can still see our stars. Our colors are still really bright, but we want it to be screen, and we want our clouds to be here, but we're going to use something called the opacity. Opacity is how see-through it is. So if I bring this back and forth, you're going to see that it gets really transparent or really opaque. Opaque means we can't see through it. So if I bring that down somewhere in the middle, maybe around 50, that looks a lot better. You might still be thinking, okay, how's this going to be a galaxy? We're going to add color over top of this too. And the color is going to look really, really nice. So right now we have our clouds here, but we want another layer over it. We want to draw over these clouds and then blend that in. So now we have our background layer, we have our clouds layer, and we want a new layer. And there's two ways we can make a new layer. We can go way up top to layer and go to new layer. That's an easy way to do it. Or we can go down here in our layers menu and go to the bottom and click this little piece of paper with the corner folded. Click that to form a new layer. Great. So now we have layer one over our clouds. And if you want, you can click on the word layer one and change the name. So if I want to, I can call this color. So now we have our color that's going to go over our clouds. So now we need to get the color that we want to use. We have really nice color choices up here. We have some different colors that you can click and pick on, or you can click up here on swatches. And if you don't see these colors, if you don't see it, you can go to window and pull down until you see swatches, and then the swatches will pop up right here. And you can even drag them out of the box. You can bring them out over here to the side if you like. And we're going to look for some colors that you'll often see in the galaxy. And you can pick a light blue or a pink or a purple, but we need to make sure we're doing this on our color layer. So we should have background, clouds, and color. So what I need to do is pick a color that I like. I'm going to start with like a nice light blue here and make sure I'm on my color layer. But I also need to make sure I'm on paintbrush because right now I'm on the move tool. And if I'm on the move tool, it's moving around nothing. So I'm going to go back to my paintbrush. And if you remember, if you look at the letter P on your keyboard, look at P and hit the brackets next to the letter P, not P, but the brackets next to it. It's going to let you make your brush bigger or smaller. So I'm going to get a nice bigger brush. I have blue selected. It always tells me what color selected in the bottom corner. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start painting over just some of the areas of the clouds like this. We're going to fix it later because right now you can't see the clouds through it, but we're going to make that a blending layer in a minute. So I'm going to go over to my colors and pick like maybe a little bit of pink through here, fuchsia, a little bit of purple here. The purple always looks really nice. We're going to put some purple in. Maybe pick a different blue too if we want, like this. Maybe a nice separate blue in this upper corner right here. So now we have a lot of different colors that we can choose. So we need to blend this with the background because it doesn't look like much, but we need to blend it to make it look like more like a galaxy. So we go to our color layer here and we're going to make it so it's not a normal layer anymore. So we need to see if it's overlay, screen, or multiply like before. Let's try multiply first. Not bad. Let's try and see screen. Oh, nope, that's not the right one. Let's try overlay. Yeah, that's the best. Overlay is the best choice, and that looks really nice, really bright. We can even lower the opacity here a little bit if you want. If your colors are too bright, you can turn opacity down a little, or you can take your clouds, even move your clouds down a little bit more if you want, so we see our stars more. That's pretty nice. So now we have background, we have clouds, and then we have color. And then the next step we're going to do is going to be our planets.